Hello everybody, welcome back to yet another video, and in today's video I'm actually going to start off a new series, and this series essentially is just going to be me reviewing Sonic Forces speed battle characters. The first character I want to go over today is Movie Shadow. Now I'm not going to spoil too much about Sonic 3 if you haven't seen it. There is going to be a spoiler that I'm going to drop at nearing the end of the video. I'll let you guys know when that happens, but for now, I just want to talk about the character that just dropped in Sonic Forces Speed Battle. How good is he? Where does he stand within the game? What's my opinion on him? And just my advice and tips about him. So, without further ado, let's go over Shadow. So, for starters, I want to go over his stats. He has 10 speed, 9 acceleration. That in within itself is pretty strong. Just the fact that he has 10 speed and 9 XL, that means that he's going to be a really, really good character to bag with. Now, if you don't know what bagging is a term in racing games where you purposely try to get yourself into like last place or a lower place, I should say, so you could get like your really amazing items and make your way back up in the race, take it the first place, and then boom, there you go. In Sonic Forces Speed Battle, bagging is just as simple as you run into an obstacle or you let the enemies hit you, you get like third or fourth place, and then you get your boost, and then you make your way back up to second or first, and then you use your boost in those placements. You're gonna see a lot of movie shadows do that. Even the movie Shadow Bot itself do that, especially because of his chaos control, which we'll talk about when we get there. But like, just these stats alone, just amazing. His strength is pretty decent. It doesn't need to be anything too powerful, too out of this world, because with Shadow, you're going to be spamming his items, and his items can fill up 4 lanes at a time. It's insane. Nevertheless, his speed is one of his strongest factors. One of his strongest benefits is his speed. Like, he can easily catch up just from a bagging position, just from like third or fourth place. He can easily catch up to everybody else. He is a extremely fast character, one of the fastest characters. Also, he's a challenger. So he's starting off with more rings than everybody else to begin with. So he's getting like a huge head start. Movie Shadow is just an extremely fast character who's extremely rewarding. Alright, so the next two items I want to talk about is Chaos Spear and Meteor Crash. So first we're going to go over Chaos Spear. Chaos Spear. Knock your rivals out of the way with powerful spears of Chaos Emerald energy. This attack essentially launches up into the air, and it chooses 2 to 3 lanes, and if you are in either of those lanes, you get damaged. That's insane coverage, and it is a move that is just like, it's really insane. It's kind of like Dr. Eggman's missiles, where it does the exact same thing, where it's like it targets certain lanes, it hovers in the air for a bit, and then it strikes down if you're in that lane. There is reaction time to this. However, it's because of Meteor Crash, which Meteor Crash essentially called down electrically charged meteors from space to shower down onto the track. This chooses, I believe, 2 lanes. It could be more than 2 lanes. I'm not for sure exactly on that, but you essentially are covering like 4 to 5 lanes with these 2 attacks, and it's not even fair a lot of the times. You have to react to so much, especially if you're fighting multiple movie shadows. You got to react to the double laned meteor crashes and the triple lane chaos spears. It's horrible to deal with. This is one of the things that makes movie shadow so great, is the fact that you are going to be spamming these items every step of the way. These 2 items together is a B&B, a bread and butter. Bread and butter essentially is a video game term for 2 things that go together perfectly. And Chaos Spear and Meteor Crash both go together perfectly. One more thing. Because Meteor Crash has electric damage, you are taking away the items of every enemy that it targets. So like if they have a boost and they get hit because they couldn't avoid the Chaos Spear and the Meteor Crash, they don't have their boosts anymore. They're just laying back in 4th place now and giving you the bigger advantage. I also want to just reiterate, bagging with Movie Shadow is perfect because like these 2 items along with his speed and one other thing I'm going to cover in just a second here, but like these factors make Shadow so easy to catch up. It is insanely easy to catch up with them. So these two items are just amazing together. Now, the one thing that can single handedly make or break an entire race is chaos control. No matter how fast they are, no rival can keep up with a teleport, and that very much is true. The way chaos control works is there's a set distance that it goes, which is extremely really far, and you're automatically there the moment you press that button. If you don't get hit, of course. So literally, the issue with movie Shadow is chaos control. It's extremely broken. You could stack up to 3 of them. Sometimes you get 2 at a time. And chaos control, in my opinion, is the best boost in the game. In fact, he doesn't even get it the way like normal characters will get their boost. He doesn't have to be far away from first or second place. He just has to be lacking in like second place with like a short to medium distance away from first place, and it's just stupid crazy because you topple that along with his speed and his excel. Yeah, like you're gonna see a lot of the races in this video literally have just been won because of my chaos control. Chaos control is the most important thing that movie Shadow has, and when I give my tips for this character, my main tip is you always have that slot 2 either empty or full. And you're going to have it empty if you have shields in first, and you're going to have it full if you bag and you get your chaos controls, or if you just get your chaos control regardless. And that's the thing with movie Shadow, because it's like he's so powerful with this chaos control. It is his most important item. I've had races where like I've been completely decimated. I've been completely obliterated. I'm like all the way down at the racetrack, and then I just chaos control my way up to first place. That's how it is. One of the things I will tell you guys about chaos control as well is always chaos control in the fast lane. Now, if you don't know what the fast lane is in Forces, the fast lane essentially is, say if the racetrack is turning left or the racetrack is turning right, you'd want to go to the lane all the way to the left on the curve. If you chaos control there, you make it out significantly far. Another advice that I want to give about chaos control is this, right? Never chaos control before dash pads, booster panels, because what you'd want to do is use those first and then chaos control, because you can't get those with chaos controlling because you passed them. So always make sure when you go to those boost panels, you use your chaos control right after. If you have chaos control in first place, if there's no other movie Shadows on your who your opponents are, you pretty much just win the race. I don't make the rules. That's literally just how it is. So chaos control is just amazing. It is, again, in my opinion, just want to reiterate here, the best boost in the entire game. Finally, I just want to talk about Shadow's upgrades. So obviously at level 1, you get the character unlocked. Level 2, you get a speed increase to chaos control. Level 3, you start the ring with 25 rings. Level 4, the damage on your meteor crash, so that stagger that lasts a little bit longer. And level 5, you start off with 30 rings. Now, here's the thing. My Shadow, as of recording of this video, December 23rd, 2024, 5:17 p.m. Illinois time. The thing is, I got Shadow at level 7. I am probably going to get him to like level 8 or 9. I am going to be buying his vault. But here's the issue, right? So the thing is this. If you're free to play, level 3 to level 5 is like really where, you'd want to have Shadow at. Just because it's like, it's a lot of ring cost. It's a lot of upgrade power. It's a lot of time you probably don't have. He's perfectly fine at level 3 to 5. I've won against level 16 Shadows. I've beaten Burning Blazes, Oni Mephilises. I've beaten Warlock Infinites. I've beaten Darkspine Sonics. I've beaten so many things out of my level and out of my league with a level 3 to level 5 movie Shadow. He's perfectly fine there if you're not like a whale who's gonna just level 16 him, right? But again, like, me specifically, my comfortability with them is like level 6, level 7-ish. And let's continue reading here. Level 5, you start with 30 rings, excuse me. At level 6, your Chaos Spear targets more lanes. And level 7, you start the race with 35 rings. So that's the thing. You get, if you're at my level, an amazing head start boost. You get pretty much like all of your lane targets that you can have consistently. You have a pretty good chance of winning. You have all the advantages that you can ask for, other than like the max head start that you would get with him through levels 1 and 7. Benefit of me getting him level 8 and beyond, and just like with everybody else who's going to be trying to get him level 8 and beyond, you get a Chaos Control boost. Level 9, you start the race with 40 rings. Level 10, your Meteor Crash does more stagger. Level 11, you start the run with 45 rings. Level 12, your Chaos Spear targets more lanes, more enemies. Level 13, you start the run with 50 rings. Now you're basically halfway at full speed there. That's pretty strong, especially because he's a challenger. Level 14, you get yet another Chaos Control speed increase. If you want to whale him that much to get to level 14, like I said, Shadow's pretty good extremely early on. Level 14 seems just like extreme overkill at that point. But go ahead. If you're getting him at level 15, you got the max head start boost. You're going to be starting with 55 rings, which is incredible. And at level 16, you get one more stagger increase to Meteor Crash. His levels are insane. He means extreme business. Now, one more thing I want to say before ending off this video. If you don't want a spoiler for Sonic 3, you could click off this video now. I'm going to be spoiling it in 3, 2, 1, 0. Now, here's my thing. Shadow's items are so good between Chaos Control, just like on its own, and his super, whenever they add Super Movie Shadow to the game, where it's like it becomes a debate. What's really better, a Super Shadow or his Chaos Control? So it's gonna be a raging debate between the two on which is better, so much to the point where you could hypothetically argue that yes, normal Shadow could be better than Super Shadow. Let me know what you guys think about that. Last thing I want to say is this. Like I said earlier in the video, in my personal opinion, I do believe that Movie Shadow is either the best character in the game, or he's easily top 3 for sure. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love every single one of you all. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.